Okay, I think I'm live. I'm gonna put my phone on to see how this is working. Let's see. All right. All right. It's been a while. All right. My channel. All right. There we go. Okay, this is Roaming Anarchist going live probably for the first time in a very long time. It's been a while, so definite apologies for anyone out there if I do some things that aren't coming out right. That's primarily because I'm just refiguring some of this stuff out again. I've been streaming or I've been making videos, but I haven't been posting it on YouTube. I've been making them on things like Steemit and on Mine's account. They happen to be two different platforms. DTube being the one with Steemit, which I've been posting a lot of videos on that. They pay you in cryptocurrency in that by people giving likes or whatever, and they turn into cryptocurrency, and I've been getting paid that way. So it's a very good platform to look into. Just look up DTube, but you would have to set up a Steemit account in order to do it. But if you're looking at setting up a channel for the first time, you get paid instantly, especially if you put work on it early on. That's a good way to do it. I'm starting to find, though, that the good thing about YouTube is you can bring more of the audience towards that direction to look at that as well. And that could definitely help add to the significance of the channel. And the other good factor about that platform, too, is that there's no censoring. They can't ban anything. Everything's on the blockchain. And it's a good way to make money and always know that you're going to get paid for your work. But I'm here on YouTube tonight. Is there anybody receiving my channel yet? If there is, go ahead and comment. Let me see here. Okay. I guess nobody's on yet. Hopefully people see that I'm on here. Um, I'm supposed to come on live at 7 o'clock. I'm probably a little early here, but everybody's probably usually a little bit early. I'm probably, about 15 minutes early I started. So I'll be looking for, I'm waiting here for a number of people to hopefully come on. I don't see anything on the chats yet or anything to indicate that anybody's even on yet. Let me see if I can figure this out a little bit. Let's see. No. Let's take another look. No. Okay. What is this? Okay. Anybody here? Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. Okay. All right. I'm sure a number of people start coming on at 7 o'clock. Things are a little slow here. I don't see any indication yet that there's anybody else on here but me. Um, okay. Yeah, I got a new phone, a new tablet. This actually made it easier. Uh, I'm going to have to thank Rosie for explaining to me how it's gotten much easier to set up now. This is very easy compared to how it used to be. Uh, I definitely have to admit. Let's see. All right. All right. Now, like I said, it's one of those nights, Monday night, kind of. At least I got the worst day over. Start of my work week. I usually work at least 6, if not 7 days a week. Um, okay. Well, let's see what we have here. I guess they're still waiting for a number of people to arrive. Hmm. And a lot of building going on up here, which is kind of strange. All right. It looks like we got somebody else over here. I'm still waiting for a few others. It's not quite 7 o'clock yet. I guess that's when a lot of other people start to chime in. But um, for this other person who's on, introduce yourself on the comments here. I'm trying to figure out who you are, but I'm definitely planning on getting my channel revived here. I'm going to try and route people towards other platforms as well. I'll explain that a little bit later here. Uh, there are definitely crypto platforms of video making where you get paid through crypto and all that. The other thing is, I was hoping to set the record straight from some of the comments and statements that Elvis Travels made last night, which was, well, very much distorted and wrong. So, as far as I know, I might possibly have a few other people that might chime in. I'm not sure how this new YouTube thing works yet on links or anything like that to get other people in, but uh, huh. Okay. All right. Well, looks like we got 3 people. Oh, nope, 2 people. I definitely need my reading glasses more than ever. But I'm sitting in my car. Currently, I don't have a van right now. I was one of the records I wanted to set straight with the Elvis Travels with Marshall. He told me I met this girl, and then I sold my van to live with her in the mobile home, and That's the end of that, and that's so far from the truth. I had my van for a while living with her. I still live with her. We're still together. Um, but I sold my van because the frame started to rot out, and it was just getting to the point where I was getting tired of dumping money into an old van, and decided to get something more practical to go back and forth to work with, which is my car here. It's a 2006 Volkswagen Passat. Um, and I am definitely looking at getting another van. I have lived in the van for at least 2.5 years, so I do have a lot of experience in it. And I know that when I get my next one, it's going to be definitely much different than the one I had. I'm looking at getting a much newer van. Um, a couple different directions I'm looking at. One of them's the minivans because they're making them bigger than they used to be, and I guess and now they have on YouTube channels where you can actually give it put it, and they show you how to give it like a Westfalia setup in it, which is pretty nice. But then the other option I might do, because I do have the money to do that, would be I was thinking of getting a full size cargo van and customize doing it, primarily because one of the problems I have with my RV is I don't know how their systems in it works all the time, and it costs more money to have somebody fix it versus if I was to take a conversion van and do the inside in my way, customized, then if something breaks, I know exactly how to fix it immediately. It's much easier that way, and I could set it up the way I need to. Plus, I found that there were things in my van I never used or took up space, like the tub shower area there and the toilet. I've never used those. Um, I used gym membership to take showers all the time. Plus, it made me healthier. I was definitely in better shape too, and I'm hoping to get that again when I get another van. But I plan on custom doing my interior on the next one with a cargo van. I'm not going to look at getting a pre-done camper van anymore, or Class B. Um, it just seems like it's more maintenance, and it's not as simple as when you do a custom one yourself. And tubs and showers and that is one thing I don't need. Everybody could have a different setup in their own vehicle, but I don't need a tub shower. I would definitely wanted a much nicer, bigger bed, um, and a little bit different layout, so I can choose that inside of a cargo van. Um, that's something Marshall probably wouldn't like, but that's my money, and I can do whatever I want with it. You know, the other factor is, and then yeah, the other thing is I plan on having a lot more activity on my YouTube channel. I've been playing around with the video editing software on my laptop. I'm getting pretty good at it. I have been posting videos. It just has not been on YouTube. It's been on DTube through my Steemit account. And the wonderful thing about that is that there is no censoring on it. And when people give you likes and that, it turns into Steemit coins. And so I get paid in cryptocurrency no matter what, and you can get paid early on it. But I'm finding use my YouTube channel would be a good way to direct people towards that area, and looking if they're looking at setting up videos and monetizing immediately versus trying to build up to a certain point with AdSense. A lot of people can make money very fast, doing the DTube route immediately. Another one would be Mines because they pay you in Ethereum. So, and that's yet another route. And there's more platforms like that coming out. And um, so I highly recommend that people look into that one. That was another thing I tried to tell Marshall of Elvis Travels about, that he could always take the current videos he has, move it onto those platforms also, copy and paste on those platforms. Uh, but apparently he just doesn't feel he has the time to learn about doing that. I saw the rant last night. Uh, he had he definitely attacked me. He attacked his nephew Darsa. I think he got even angry at his nephew Darsa because he definitely went on live last night, and I could definitely understand where he's coming from. You know, because I work all the time too. I earn money. I work very hard for it, and I hate to see it disappear as well. Um, he he made a he apparently he put money in for Marshall to go to school and that, and then Marshall got his license and everything else, started working with the company, and then quit. You know, and I could definitely understand why Narsa is very very upset. I would be very very upset too if that was me. Uh, but and that's probably the same thing. I figured he's someone who likes to post videos about anything, and I'm just surprised that he wouldn't even take the time to learn looking at other platforms where he can make money in multiple areas instead of just trying to make it on AdSense on YouTube, which is not a very smart strategy. I would, I always look at diversification in that. He criticized me last night saying I sold my van. When I moved in with this girl, my current girlfriend, and like another one of those, oh, I sold my van, when I met a girl, but I had my van for a while afterwards when I was living with her, and uh, he said I sold it because of her, but I already told him, and I'm going to tell everybody else in the YouTube community. Um, my frame was rotting out with rust in that. It was an old van, even though it had a new engine in that, it was starting to fall apart. And I reached a certain point where I decided that I wasn't going to sit there and dump more money into a money pit. And I got rid of it and got a car to get me back and forth to work. And I still have the same job I've had for at least the last 7 years. So been there for over 7 years now. And I'm looking at going. If you're just tuning in now, I was explaining about going into buying another van, like a cargo van, but customizing it the way I want in the interior, because I found there were things in my old van I didn't use that would be a waste of space, and I would like to have a bigger bed and everything else. And and I definitely want to get something much newer. Usually, newer means less maintenance for some time. Um, I'm hoping to get other people on here. It'd be nice to have Narcissus input in here, and have him explain his side of the story more. I don't have a Patreon account. No, I'm sorry. I only got a PayPal account, and I also have, well, a Tron account, Ethereum account, Bitcoin account, that kind of stuff. But no, I don't have a Patreon. And if I was to, well, let's take a look here. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, I do have a PayPal account for anybody that looks at US dollars, but I'm not here looking for money. I'm not even going to post what it is because I'm not asking for money. I work 6 7 days a week. I can buy my own van at any time. I'm holding out to get a nicer one later this year is my plan. I don't have a problem coming up with money either. I mean, if anybody wanted to donate to me, with a Patreon account or that, that's not necessary. I'm not looking for money. Uh, I earn my money, and I definitely get what I want when I want it. Currently, yeah, I'm in a 2006 Volkswagen Passat. It's not nothing. It's not anything to look at. Um, and I think my screen just went dark for some reason. Okay. Oh, there it is. I must have hit a button. Hold on. All right. I'm back on. I'm hoping to have Narsa on here later. I would love to have him put up his side of the story. If Marsha wants to come on, by all means, go for it. You know, I would definitely love to hear why you think, you know, that I did anything wrong by selling my van. Um, and you know, lately I've noticed that you've been having a lot of problems with your van, and I would think that, you know, if I was in your position, I would probably be looking at upgrading. But that also means you should have kept on working at the trucking company your nephew set you up with, um, to get yourself something nicer. Because I mean, your van's pretty old too. It's falling apart, and you're starting to dump a lot of money into it as well, and you're trying to customize it to something that you want, and apparently it isn't working out that way. Um, so who all's on here right now? I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with this. I'm getting myself re-familiarized with all the YouTube stuff, like the live chat and that. Just chime in. I mean, if you have any comments or whatever, or you want any questions you want me to answer, feel free to go ahead and ask. So far, it looks like, well, there were seven down there. We're down to four. Um, what time is it? No, it's only 7:11. Huh. Well, I don't. I can't sit there and showboat like Elvis, and go crazy and everything else. I guess I'm a little too logical in the way I approach things. But I will tell you, I plan on doing videos here in the very near future, and they'll be over different forms of travel. I'm talking to some people at the sailing school right now. All right. Mr. Market Basket. I wonder if you're up here from the New England area, because there are a lot of market baskets up here. That's definitely one of my favorite stores to shop at. But one of the things I hope to do on my channel is I was going to explore different forms of traveling. I was going to go on some sailboats to get people to look at that as a possibility. Um, Minivans. I know there's a lot of channels right now, and even I look into that sometimes of getting a minivan, because minivans are cheap to get. The parts are cheap, and they're real easy to convert. They got people with YouTube channels that could tell you how to convert any of your minivans into like a Westphalia style one. The layout where you could fold out a couch in the back to a bed. Plus, you have closet space. You could put in a sink or a stove. Hmm. Oh, okay. All right, I see. Well, if Elvis wants to chat with me about this, he can, if he's man enough to. Because I could definitely tell him, hey, you can't, you don't burn bridges with people that helped you out in the past. I mean, I've given him money in the past, and then he turns around and does this. Uh, I mean, and I've seen him do it to other people. It's kind of not like I'm surprised. At any rate, there doesn't seem to be too many people on tonight, but I'm gonna have to start posting a lot more videos here soon, with real content, things that people will be interested in watching whenever it's posted, instead of hearing rants and raves about nothing. Well, I guess that's it for me for the night. But I figure I'd set the record straight.